Hello, you guys. How are you all? Thank you guys for being here. So, tonight we're going to talk about something, a new case to the channel, a recent case we were going to talk about last night. I just want to say I am sorry, you guys. I was not feeling well last night. This time of year and all the bugs that go around and stuff is no fun. And I guess that's what it is. I wasn't the only one kind of not feeling well, but anyways, I'm here now and there are even more developments now. I'm actually really glad that it's been a day because the way that this looked last night when I was going to go live versus how it looks now is slightly different. So, yeah. Thank you guys for being here. Hey, Adrian. Hey, J13. Hey, Neat, Tess, Samantha, everybody who's here. Thank you for being here. We will chat at the end. We're going to go ahead and get right into it just for people who aren't interested in all the hellos and stuff. But Sunshine Mafia, thank you for being a member for 24 months and happy Wednesday. Thank you. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about a couple from Columbus, Ohio, a case that really I'm starting to see many places. So I'm curious how many of you guys have seen this. So it's a dentist named Spencer and his wife Monique. They are 37 and 39 years old. Spencer's 37, she's 39. Let me open this article. Just because it has their picture, but I have a timeline printed off in front of me, and then we're going to listen to. I mean, there's calls that have came out. There's all kinds of stuff to go through. So let's start here because it has their picture. So this is Spencer and Monique. This is sad, you guys. They have 2 kids, 1 and 4. The kids were also in the home. So Spencer and Monique were found gunshot wounds, with gunshot wounds, and their 2 kids were in the home and they were unharmed. Thank goodness. But also, my God, how tragic. I mean, 1 and 4. You can hear them crying in some of the calls. It's really just so sad. Saw it on YouTube Streets last night. Hey, Lady fucking T. Hey, Tracy. I'm glad they are, and I'm glad you are too. Hey, Angie. Kids are the same age as yours. Oh my God, it's so sad. And Amber, I know when like they are the same age as your kids, it just hits you different. It's like one of the reasons why I think I felt so drawn to Gannon's case and the monster that Letitia was, and learning more about her. You know, I've told you guys that before, but are we going to need Kleenex? It's pretty tough. So Steph, I'm going to play them. They're dispatch calls, but you can hear, I mean, most of it is listening to his boss, not from the scene. And, they're not all from the scene and stuff. They're not, but I do want to play him. There's also another call that came out. This is why the case looks different, because last night a call came out. I saw it on News Nation. It was a short from Ashley Banfield, and she was describing the transcript. And it was a call from April of last year, where the woman is, crying. She's emotional. She's claimed she had a fight with her boyfriend, but she doesn't need help. She ultimately doesn't want anybody to come. And according to family members, that is not Monique. It may be someone in the area, a neighbor or someone that was close to the home, and that's just why that address was used. But it was not her. So that really changes things, in my opinion. Hey, Jacob. Okay, so I'm going to read you this article. I printed off a timeline from CNN. So I'll just read through it. Maybe not word for word, but that's where it comes from. And then we'll take a look at some other articles, videos, interviews, all kinds of different stuff. So an Ohio couple was killed at home while their 2 children were inside. Here's the timeline of the case so far. More than a week after a Columbus, Ohio couple was shot dead in their home, the same place they exchanged wedding vows and were raising their young family, their killer is still at large, and police have released few details about their investigation. Now, here's another thing. There is footage that has been released to the public of a person walking in behind the home. I think we're going to go over to TikTok after we're done, and I've got some videos that shows the area and where this camera most likely came from, but the area that it certainly definitely came from. There's a person walking. I'm going to show you guys that in a minute, but they have their head down. They're trying to cover up who they are. So that's another piece to this. Spencer and Monique were killed in the early hours of December 30th while their 2 young children were inside the residence. Their children, ages 1 and 4, were not physically harmed, police said. They and the family's dog are now in the care of relatives, their brother-in-law told CNN. And there's some other stuff we'll listen to on TikTok. But I do want to say, I keep seeing it being described this exact way. They were not physically harmed. And I use that in my title for a reason, because I almost didn't. But then you think about it, the kids weren't harmed. Are you kidding me? Their whole lives were destroyed. They were harmed. They weren't physically harmed. Their parents were murdered and they were in the home, So it feels it feels wrong to describe it any other way. Yuhat and Jacob, we're going to get into that in a minute, because I've got if you look, I've seen just now a bunch of places reporting on it. But yeah, family members spoke out and said that is definitely not Monique. And Angie, let me say thank you so much to you for the super sticker. And yeah, I hope you're doing good. I miss you, and Happy New Year. I hope you aren't freezing up there. And thank you again. A notable development. Oh, I already read that. Sorry. Police have not discussed possible suspects or a motive in a case they are investigating as a double homicide. Mystery has shrouded the killing since police revealed early on there were no obvious signs of forced entry and no firearm was found at the scene. And I also have an article of that pulled up, because I was talking to a friend of mine today. Well, I'll just say to Melissa, because she wouldn't mind. And we were talking about this and the fact that it wasn't being investigated as a murder-suicide. And I told her, I had an article pulled for tonight, but there was no gun at the scene. And it seems like all the casings weren't even there. And then we have the video surveillance of the person, behind the home. Look at them. They are just, precious. It's so sad. As law enforcement continues to ask the public for information, here is the timeline of what happened and what we've learned since the Tepes were killed. December 29th. The last publicly known sighting of Spencer is on this day, a Monday. After a friend told a dispatcher the following day he saw a body, the dispatcher asked when he'd last spoken with Spencer, according to 911 calls, and we'll hear those, like I said. The friend responded, "Yesterday, I suppose." In a follow-up question, the dispatcher asked whether Spencer had been ill. The friend responded, "No, I was just with him yesterday." December 30th. Sometime between 2 and 5 a.m. is when the Tepes are killed, according to Columbus police. Detectives believe they were killed in the upstairs of their home. Police have not responded to CNN's questions about why or how they isolated that 3-hour window. Investigators later asked for any video footage from that time period. So that's why we know that window. The first 911 call comes at 8:58 from Dr. Mark Valrose, the owner of Athens Dental Depot, where Spencer was a dentist. Valrose, calling from his vacation in Florida, says employees told him Spencer hadn't shown up for work. Valrose asked police to conduct a wellness check, saying he is always on time and he would contact us if there were any issues, according to the recording. I don't know how else to say this, but we are very, very concerned. This is very out of character for him, he continues. We can't get in touch with his wife, which is probably the more concerning thing. At 9:22 a.m., an officer arrives at the home to perform the check, but no one answers the door and they leave. The local news reports citing police records. About 30 minutes later, Spencer's colleagues and a friend arrive at the home, but they also do not get a response. The dispatch records showed a man at the scene calls 911 at 9:56, so about an hour later, saying he hears children inside. The dispatcher tells him the police are being sent back to the home. 2 minutes later comes this next call from another colleague who says they've been unable to reach him for 3 hours. And then 5 minutes after that, at 10:03 a.m., I'm going to create a timeline for this, by the way, and I'll use this and once we have more information, anything else we can put with it and try to put it together more with more details. And I'll make sure that you guys can easily go through it and, it's easy to comprehend. But around 10:30, one that you guys can read on your own or have videos and stuff. I've done that before with another case and I really enjoyed doing that. And I found it really helpful to go back to. And if you're interested, that was Stephen Stearns. And it's on my Patreon on the free tier. But okay, so if you followed that case and you wanted to see it. But anyways, let me continue. So 10:03, like I said, a few minutes later, this is when the friend who said he'd seen Spencer on Monday calls back and is distressed. And this is when he's, he can see them in there. There's a body, he reports. The friend does not specify whether he is inside or outside the home. No, but he does say, he gives more of an explanation. I just listened to something about beside his bed. He's beside his bed. Columbus officers are dispatched to the home right after that 1 minute later to conduct a wellness check. And at 10:11, medical personnel pronounce both victims deceased. January 2nd, the family releases a statement to CNN saying they are devastated by the tragic and senseless loss of the beloved couple. We are heartbroken beyond words, the statement reads. The family says they are committed to seeing this tragedy fully and fairly brought to justice and to honoring them by protecting the future of their 2 children. The couple, their family says, were extraordinary people whose lives were filled with love, joy, and a deep connection to others. So January 5th, police give their first significant update in days as they release the surveillance footage. This shows a person wearing pants and a dark hoodie pulled over their head. That's the one I was telling you about. We're going to watch or look at in a second. The person keeps their head down as they trudge along a snow-lined alley in the dark, the video showed. Police do not say why they're describing the person in the video as a person of interest and ask for the public's if they have any information. Police acknowledge there are questions and concerns surrounding the incident, saying detectives are working diligently to solve this case. Then, January 6th, a spokesperson responds to CNN that they were questioning why they called this person a person of interest again, and they declined to comment. So that's all for that CNN article. Now let's go over here. I'm just going to play this instead of reading it to you guys because I just was reading and
I will love you forever, and I'm so lucky to be Mrs. Tepe.
Loved ones are pushing for justice after a dentist who worked in Athens and his wife were found shot and killed in their home in Columbus.
We're all still in shock and obviously angry and just trying to piece this together.
Spencer and Monique Tepe were found fatally shot last Tuesday in the home where they were married and were raising their 1- and 4-year-old children.
They're just amazing.
Really,
parents,
Columbus Police Department.
They did such a great job, and we have a huge community that now will obviously step in and help raise these children.
Police say they found their bodies during a welfare check after Spencer's coworker reported he did not show up to work at the Athens Dental Depot.
We're very, very concerned because this is very out of character. And we can't get in touch with his wife, which is probably the more concerning thing.
Police say
Oh
they
my
found
God, how
3
sad.
spent
They were
9mm
beautiful.
casings. Their 2 children were
Precious.
at the home unharmed. Authorities say they found no.
Very nice house, you know, good career. It's just so sad. You know, it's sad anytime we see anybody killed with any of the cases we talk about, right? But when you just see like a young family, it kind of reminds me of like the Watts family or many other beautiful families and people we've talked about. But you see this young family with all the potential in the world to just do anything and everything. Kids, beautiful home, nice jobs, and it's all taken from them. It's just so wrong. I don't know.
signs of forced entry.
It's very upsetting
Kimberly Berrigan lives in Athens, close to where Dr. Tepe worked.
to think that somebody who works so close to where I live was just brutally murdered like that is awful.
The Athens Dental Depot shared a written statement saying that Dr. Tepe will be deeply missed by the team here, as well as the many patients that he cared for over the years, and their thoughts and sincerest condolences are going out to the families and loved ones. Andrew Colgrove, WSAZ, Athens.
Please forgive me because I know I've pronounced the name wrong and I might do it again. From the first time I read it, you know, my brain scrambles trying to read it. I don't know why. There are just certain names that are like that for me and certain words, you know. I'm sure you guys know what I mean. So Amber says it's so random. So it makes me wonder, is it? Is it random? You know, this surveillance footage, which let me show you guys this just has a screenshot of it. The video is out there. I think it's in one of the TikToks we're going to look at, but here's just a screenshot of it. It just makes me wonder. It feels like this person is just walking so purposefully, head down, like very conscious of being seen, right? And it makes me think, what happened? There's no forced entry, but does that mean that, you know, they couldn't have been there before? I don't know. Was there a door unlocked, a window unlocked? Did they steal a key? I don't know. You never know, right? Until we know, we just don't know. Names are hard for some of us. Okay, yeah, no sign of forced entry, right? I mean, random as they seem like a normal couple, but no forced entry seems like they knew them. I don't know. Right. But I mean, not necessarily, I guess, too. But yeah, it is. It's so, I don't know. Okay, let's go. Let me just show you guys the video that came out last night, the call, because this is interesting too. You know, we still don't know where the bottom of it. We just know that families say it doesn't sound like Monique, but this really, like, now I'm not as concerned. But when I first heard it, or when I first heard about it, you know, I was just like, what in the world is going on here? Okay. So apparently, just a little quick sidebar, I guess Nick Reiner's, I'm probably saying his name wrong too, because it's that EI in that name that makes it hard for my brain. His attorney, the one that represented Karen Reed, is not his attorney anymore. Okay, just one second. I was looking to see if there was a longer video because, like I said, I saw the short. And I want to see, I'm sure that it was Ashley Banfield speaking. I'm sure she did a longer video. So let me just look just a second, you guys. Maybe this is it. Let's watch it. And if not, we'll just go to the short.
Okay, so a week ago, 39-year-old dentist Spencer Tepe and his 37-year-old wife, Monique, both found shot to death in their home. Spencer
No,
shot several
this is not
times,
her, but-
found lying near his bed. Wife shot once in the chest. Murder-suicide.
That's another aspect. He's shot multiple times. I think they said like 4 or 5. Maybe I'm wrong and I'm misremembering that. So we're researching together. So keep in mind, and also keep in mind when a case is breaking like this is literally the first 8 days since it happened. There's a ton of misinformation out there. Even the news gets stuff wrong. You can't really count on anything 100%.
Suicide, cops say no. Why? No weapon was found. But they did find 9mm shell casings. So what else do we know? A burglary, maybe, but nothing was taken. They have 2 kids, a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old, and they were okay. They were both home. So was the dog, okay? And again, nothing stolen. They don't show up to work. Friends get concerned. No one can reach them. They go to the home and they find them. And here are the 911 calls.
I would like to ask for a wellness check.
Oh, well, is he going to play them all? I don't know, but let's just listen, or we might as well. And then I'll play the one that I was telling you guys about.
Individual at their home. We're very, very
I was going to
concerned
play
that
him
this is very
anyways
out of
from
character.
Facebook.
And we can't get in touch with his wife, which is probably the more concerning thing.
What's the emergency there? Police or medical?
Maybe both, I guess. I don't know. I'm kind of doing the
We
wellness.
had a call out there. They knocked on the front door and back door multiple times, and there was no answer.
Yeah, no answer. I can hear kids inside, and I swear I think I heard one yell.
We got several calls on that. What's changed since the last person I talked to?
There's a body. There's a body.
There's a body inside.
Yeah.
So they didn't play him in full,
Interesting.
but still.
For several reasons. Multiple 911 calls, only an hour or so.
Maybe it's better to play just that, because in the other ones, you can hear the kids. I mean, I wonder what they must have been thinking when you could hear the kids inside, but when they said it sounded like one yelled. Oh my God, how scary. And for these little kids, like 1 and 4, like from the way I understand it, they were not exposed to the crime scene. If that's true, imagine they're just like, why is no one coming to get me? Why am I not being fed? Change where's my oh my God, it's
After they couldn't be reached in the morning, it's such a high degree of urgency, right? We're going to discuss that and what it means or doesn't mean.
Oh, okay, Amber.
Cops released footage of a
Is it the
person
911?
Of interest, they say, walking in an alley near the home. It hasn't led to anything else. But now
The 911 call from April of 2025.
now we just learned something else. Back in April, in the middle of the night,
Oh, well.
someone called 911 from the home, a female, and said, she hung up and they called her back and they said, hey, did you just call? And she said, yeah, I had a fight with my man, which I think is weird verbiage, but you may feel differently. And, but it's okay. Does this matter? Let's ask criminologist Casey Jordan. First of all, it's good to see you. Happy New Year. Second, am I a cynic, or I just don't have great friends that I'm a little curious about this sense of urgency just an hour past when you usually call them in the morning?
Listen, to me, the 1 hour time frame of Spencer is 1 hour late to work, so we're calling 911 for a wellness check.
I really like her. She's from, if you guys have ever watched Deadly Women, oh, that's one of my favorite shows that I've watched for years. So let me drop Amber's link so that you guys can watch that video if we don't watch it. And I know that she's gonna, I think, do a live on it this weekend. But that 1 hour time frame, he's 1 hour late. That's, like she said, that's a big deal. And then I wonder how long they were left alone. Well, we know just from the timeline that I read earlier, he is with a friend the day before.
Always popped for me as an overreaction.
And if it happened in the middle of the night,
why somebody would be
Wait, I'm sorry. We know how long they were left alone. Remember, it was from 2 to 5. They were looking to see if anybody saw anything. And they were called to the home right after 10 in the morning when they were found. The bodies were found. So from 2 in the morning until 10. So the kids probably were asleep in their beds. I don't know, but, or, through the night when this happened. Of course, not when they got there, but I'm just saying. But I don't know. That's just an assumption.
An hour late and not have their phone got lost, the phone is dead, something got in a car accident, had a medical emergency. But they're not satisfied when the police go out there literally 18 minutes later and say, the door, we checked the front door, we checked the back door, and there's nothing. And then everyone gets up from their dental chairs and rushes to the house to investigate this themselves. Now, this doesn't mean that anyone in that practice particularly knows anything or is responsible, but it seems to be an overreaction, maybe even a reaction formation, because perhaps they know.
An overreaction. That's so interesting. I didn't even think about it like that. I did think, wow, he must have been like so dependable and trustworthy that this was alarming. The wife's not answering. But interesting. Is there an issue going on that maybe
trouble in paradise in that marriage?
That's what I was gonna like that they know about.
The line that jumps out at me, Chris, is we can't get in touch with the wife,
and that's even more of a concern.
That concerns us the most.
Yeah, I picked that up also, but not in the same context as you, which is why you're you. The 911 call from April. I gotta go. We'll pick it up next time.
Okay, so the 911 call from April. Let's see what this is. I haven't watched these 2 videos, but the 911 call, like I said, the short is all I've seen with the transcript. It looks like this may be the recording. Let me see. I don't know who made the call, but because I saw Kimberly ask that, I think.
Recently found murdered.
Yeah, Kimberly, who made the 911 call about a fight with her man. Sorry, I was on another screen. All we know is the family said it wasn't Monique. He said, definitely, no, it's not her. So I don't know.
The dramatic 911 call involving the young dentist and his wife recently found murdered in their townhouse. Months before they were found dead, a woman called for help from inside that home. Fighting back tears, she says she and her, quote, man got into it. Anne Mercogliano with what the call reveals.
Okay, so they just had the transcript too, because that's all I had seen. But
popular dentist and his wife took a shocking twist today. 9 months before Spencer Tepe and his wife Monique were murdered, a woman called 911 from their home, then hung up. The 911 dispatcher called right back.
This is 911. We just got a hang-up call. Is everything okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm okay.
Well, it sounds like you're.
So it does play her voice. Yeah, where does Chris have to go all of a sudden?
Right.
I'm okay. I promise. I'm just emotional.
Well, how'd you call 911 in the first place? Arguing with somebody?
Me and my man got into it, but I'm okay. I promise.
You guys were just arguing. Nobody hit each other?
Yes.
Okay.
Was that caller Monique? Here's her voice.
Now look, they're going to play her voice, but just first, let me show you this. Relative says crying woman who made domestic dispute 911 call 100% wasn't Ohio dentist wife. Her brother-in-law has responded to reports of the April 911 call released this week where a woman is heard crying over a domestic dispute. He said, I 100% know that is not Monique's voice. He said it did not sound like anyone else he knew either. He said whatever Fox News showed, I think it just maybe pinged at their address. That's probably a neighbor. It's so obviously not Monique's voice. It's not them. So let's go back to the video.
It's from her wedding video.
I will love you forever, and I'm so lucky to be Mrs. Tepe.
And here's the 911 caller.
An argument with somebody?
Me and my man got into it, but I'm okay. I promise.
They sound the same, but the doctor's brother-in-law, Rob Misley, tells Inside Edition, I 100% know. Here's her voice from her wedding video.
I will love you forever, and I'm so lucky to be Mrs. Tepe.
And
They do not sound anything the same to me. Oh my gosh. What do you, yeah, that's not her. You say babysitter? Maybe. They don't, yes. What? They sound the same. Johnny says it sounds like her. Not to me. To me, here.
Here's the 911 caller. That
Call 911 in the first place. Arguing with somebody.
We ain't got into it, but I'm okay, I promise.
You guys were just arguing. Nobody hit each other.
Yes.
Okay.
was that caller, Monique. Here's her voice from her wedding video.
I will love you forever, and I'm so lucky to be Mrs. Tepe.
And here's the 911 caller.
An argument with somebody.
We ain't got into it, but I'm okay, I promise.
They sound the same, but the doctor's brother-in-law, Rob Misley, tells Inside Edition,
they sound the same, but whose metric? Do you have a source for that? Like, can you provide anything else that got you to this conclusion?
I 100% know that is not Monique's voice. Now the call is raising questions about the couple's outwardly idyllic relationship and what might have led to the murders. News Nation's Ashley Banfield is following the case. Could there be any link between this 911 call and the murder?
Could this fight have been over another person? Could it have been over the murderer? The problem is we don't know what it was.
We just don't know. Who could it be? Could it be a friend, a neighbor? Could it be a girlfriend? Could it be? I don't know. We just don't know. But it don't sound the same to me. But Neat says, I used to get police showing up at my house for 911 hangups. It wasn't us. They said the call just pinged at our house. That's so crazy to me. All right, so let's see what the New York Post put out right here.
Homicide
I'm going to grab Amber's
has drawn
link.
national attention. Police are still on the hunt for those responsible for killing Spencer Tepe, a dentist in Athens, and his wife Monique Tepe.
4 friends carrying flowers and a soccer ball, keeping the memorial alive outside the North 4th Street home, where Spencer and Monique Tepe were found brutally shot to death Tuesday.
The mystery surrounding the killings of an Ohio dentist and his wife
4 friends carrying a soccer ball and
has only deepened
oh, there's the
as
interview
their
I was going to
family
play
has
from TikTok.
downplayed the significance of a shadowy figure seen on surveillance video the night of their mysterious murders. As police work around the clock to get to the bottom of the gruesome crime, here's what we know. Dentist Spencer Tepe and his wife Monique were found fatally shot the day before New Year's Eve. Their bodies were discovered inside their Wineland Park homes in Columbus, Ohio, following a welfare check from a family friend and Columbus police. Spencer, who was 37 years old, suffered multiple gunshot wounds, while Monique, who was 39, was shot at least once in the chest, according to police records.
Why would there be a difference like that? Like, you know, let's just say, for instance, if it was 4 or 5 versus 1, why would there be such a difference? Okay, so I'm on Amber's channel. I am going to share this link with you guys. It's got the full dispatch calls, the 911 dispatch calls and enhanced CCTV. Let's see. I think it's got not the one from April, but the ones from the day they were discovered. Since I'm not going to play it because we heard most of it just a moment ago, and I don't really want, if we don't have to, because I know some people said Steph said she couldn't listen to them. If you want to listen, there's the link.
Their 2 young children, a 1-year-old boy and a 4-year-old girl, were found crying but physically unharmed inside the house. There were no obvious signs of forced entry and no firearm was discovered at the scene. Police said, adding that they do not believe the deaths were a result of a murder.
Candy cane. That reminds me of that movie Joyride, Candy Cane. But Amber is a friend of mine. She's here now. She's a mod. Her name is ATS News, but she also has a channel. She does documentaries, live streams, and videos.
Suicide. The welfare check was conducted after Tepe failed to show up for work at Athens Dental Depot that week, something that his boss, Dr. Mark Valrose, told police was odd given his punctual nature.
This individual, Spencer, works with me, and he did not show up to work this morning, and we cannot get a hold of him or his family. Like, he is.
Yeah, that is really interesting now that I think about it. Hearing from that, what is she, a criminologist? I don't remember, but the woman who was on Deadly Women that was just on with Chris Cuomo. The fact that so quickly, by 10 a.m., they're at the house after calling 911 a couple times. Wonder why it would be instant just worry. Maybe it was just a gut feeling, that he is so punctual and dependable. I don't know.
He's always on time, and he would contact us if there was any issues whatsoever. I just don't know how else to say this. Like, we're very, very concerned because this is very out of character.
Several coworkers drove to Tepe's home on December 30th and insisted a welfare check be conducted after they heard children crying inside. Around 10 a.m., one of Spencer's friends reported seeing the dentist's body inside the home near a bed.
There's a body. There's a body inside?
Yeah, our friend wasn't answering his phone. We just did a wellness check. We just came here, and he...
Okay, so let's go listen to
Police in Columbus reviewing
this,
surveillance
because
footage.
I think this is the same interview I wanted to pull up from TikTok anyways. We can just play it from YouTube. It makes it easier.
And they're searching for a person of interest in the murders of Spencer and Monique Tepe. The married couple was found shot inside their home last week while their two young children slept nearby. No arrests have been made. And tonight, we're the only station in Cincinnati to sit down and talk with the family as Spencer's brother-in-law shares who they were, the heartbreak left behind.
Okay, before we get into this, I want to read these couple comments. So Glenjamin says, I wonder if he talked with his colleagues about problems he was having. I wonder that as well. Jacob says, and his office was quite a bit away from where they live. 75 miles, Tess said. I didn't realize it was that far. And the Frilly Farmhouse says, I think it's weird the other dentist called from Florida, like to establish his whereabouts. I didn't even think about it that way. I mean, I'm not saying that's what he was doing, but wow, if it was something like that, that would be nuts. Because it is kind of weird the other dentist calls. That's the first person who called. From vacation? Like, I guess if you're the owner and the one of the dentists there doesn't show up, I mean, that's really interesting, though. Possible. Anything's possible at this point. That's for sure.
And the push for justice.
How does this happen? This is such a rare thing, and two people that, not a single person could say a bad word about them are...
Not a single person? That just seems extreme. But then again, like, I've described someone that way. Like, literally, my uncle who passed away, he was like an angel. I swear. He was really young when he passed, but my mom like basically raised him. It was her little brother, just long story short. And he was like a gentle person. I never heard him raise his voice, never heard him be mad with anyone. He was just like the most gentle man that I've ever known, I would say. And I have described him in that way. There's not a person I could say a bad word about him. I do believe that. So maybe it's not extreme. It just hit my ears a little weird because, of course they probably have people who exes and different things like that. You know what I mean? Everybody does, but
killed in their home.
Rob Misla is Spencer and Monique's brother-in-law.
Language after
1 week
someone
ago,
passes.
his wife got the call that changed everything.
It was her dad on the phone saying that Spencer is dead. And then finally I said, well, where's Monique? Where are the kids? And he said, well, Monique is dead too.
Misla describes Monique and Spencer's magnetic pull, their inclusive spirit, their gift of gathering friends and family.
They were always having people over. They were just the center of a huge community of friends and family that they were the glue.
Cheers. A filmmaker, Misla captured their 2021 wedding at their Columbus home, where they were also murdered. Their two children, ages 4 and 1,
Kimberly says maybe the problem is within the office and not within the marriage. Maybe they knew about something going on in the office. That is certainly possible. I think at this point it's kind of anything's possible, but I just find it interesting about what that FBI, I'm giving her all kinds of different titles. What the woman who was being interviewed by Chris Cuomo, let's just call her that, pointed out, and kind of how I'm thinking about it so differently than earlier, and so very different than how I may have covered this last night when we didn't know who, like, we didn't have anyone saying that's not Monique on the April 911 call.
Asleep down the hall. Misla tells me the kids are being well taken care of, but their lives are forever changed.
We don't know how to tell a 4-year-old that they're never going to see their mom and your daddy again. It's how do you, and how does the 4-year-old understand?
Misla tells me he is hopeful the police will catch Spencer and Monique's killer soon.
It just seems like it was not a random act where somebody broke in and this, trying to steal stuff. Like, it just seems a lot more intentional than that.
Personal,
yes. Just unbelievably disgusting that somebody could do something so evil.
If you could say something to the person or persons who did this, what would it be?
Neat, I want to say he does, but then again, I could be wrong, but it's in the video I have saved on TikTok. I'm not going to pull it up from my phone in a second. We're going to double check this if it doesn't come up here.
You think that you just took 2 lives, but you took so much more than that. You took a daughter and a son, a brother and a sister, cousins, nieces, nephews, aunts, uncles, friends, and obviously 2 amazing parents, 2 just innocent children who will never know them again. So you just took so much more.
Police say the investigation into Spencer and Monique Tepe's deaths remains active, and we're going to continue to follow any developments that happen in this case. Again, it happened in Columbus, but Spencer Tepe grew up here in Mason.
Right. A lot of connection.
It's okay. Just one second, you guys, because we're just going to go over to TikTok to see, because I don't want to, sometimes it's hard when I'm looking at a case for the first time. Number one, I don't remember things as easily as when you have looked at a case over and over and over. You start to really remember all the details. And then I'm also consuming a ton of information at one time. So sometimes I think I might repeat something the wrong way. Just a second. You guys are not going to believe this. Let me see something. Okay, never mind. I was wrong. I saved them to the wrong TikTok because I have 2. I have a true crime TikTok, and then I have a TikTok where I just talk about snacks and stuff. And I saved these videos to the wrong one. That's what took me a second. So now I got it. Let's see here.
Hey guys, so
These,
there's a lot
I
of
saved
people
4. We'll just watch them.
asking questions in my comment section about Spencer and Monique Tepe's children who were found physically unharmed at their residence on December 30th, 2025, while they were found deceased in their residence with GSWs. We know that a co-worker of Spencer's ended up calling authorities on December 30th from outside of the residence because Spencer and Monique were not coming to the door, but they could hear a child yelling from inside. So people were wondering if the children saw anything. According to Spencer's brother-in-law, his sister's wife, Rob Measley, is saying that the kids are in loving hands and that they don't know anything right now. They're completely unaware. Remember, they're only 1 and 4 years old. He said, "We've had them for the past couple of days. They were just as happy and unfortunately unaware as they ever could be." He said that the couple's 4-year-old daughter.
That is That is the guy we just listened to, right? Let me double check that too. We'll keep listening while I make sure.
Is wondering where her mother and father are. She knows that they're not around, but she doesn't know that they're deceased and not coming back. And he's unsure of how they're going to approach that topic when the time comes. He also went on to say that as far as what he knows, the children were not exposed to the crime scene upstairs. It's just devastating, but at least we know that the kids did not witness anything that may have traumatized them for the rest of their lives. Last night, I shared video surveillance footage of who authorities believe is a person of interest in Spencer and Monique's murders. Authorities say that they are continuing on with their investigation and do have some new leads, but they have to remain tight-lipped for the integrity of their case. Now, this photo right here is circulating online a lot today. It is a photo of Monique and her ex-husband allegedly on their wedding day 10 years ago. The two were apparently only married for a couple of years. And from what I'm reading, he doesn't even live in the state of Ohio. It seems like he is a surgeon in the state of Illinois. And if it was as simple as her ex-husband, I feel like there would have already been an arrest made at this point. That's just my mindset right now, at least. Anyone with information is encouraged to contact the tip line. I will leave that below. Of course, as more information and updates come out, you'll be able to find them all here on my page. Hey guys, so there's a lot of people asking questions. And
so it was the brother-in-law as well that we were just listening to. So there we go. The kids are unaware, but they are asking where their parents are. That is so sad. The one and only Beauty by KK. That happened to my house too because we live on the main busy street. Someone called 911 while driving by and hung up, and police pinged it to my address. That is insane. I mean, I guess if you live in a place, I guess it doesn't even have to be a busy place if someone's driving by, but
sure that they had to have, like, come on now. I mean, they had to have pulled footage off the back of that cafe. We would hope, right? Where's the bar? I don't know where the bar's at. I don't know what bar you're talking about.
Look in the comments, Steph's Case Files. Thank you for walking this.
All right, so here we are. We're at where the footage was caught. So there's two cameras that I found. There's the camera on this garage. See, people were saying it was from a second story, but it looks like it could be a second story because of how high the camera is. So there's a camera right here on this building, right? But if I turn right here, there's a camera right on top of that building right there.
Okay.
Here's where the footage was taken. There's a little alley behind the Tepe's home, and oddly enough, I was looking through this alley virtually very early this morning just to see who had cameras. Did the Tepes have any set up? Here's what I found. Here's where the Tepes live, and here's the alley behind their house where the footage was taken. Let's see who has cameras and who doesn't. The house on the corner right next door to the Tepes has cameras facing the alley on their garage. This is the Tepe's home, and they don't have cameras. And here's another angle of the neighbor's cameras. So if we keep making our way up, this gray dwelling is the only other house.
I saved this not because of what she's saying. It's just to look at the area. Doesn't matter if they have this means nothing to me. This was taken in July 2025. You can see up here, just this section. Every section could be different, as a matter of fact. Let's go back. Let me mute it while we listen. So, I mean, somebody can get cameras between July and now. You know what I mean? It was just for a look at the little alley where the guy was walking. That video we see with the guy with his head down, seems to come from that area. Okay. Why did I say
this evening in a mystifying double murder? Police in Columbus, Ohio, released the first image yet of a person of interest in a brutal crime that is now more than 6 days old. This man, or
looking down, very
woman, was captured by a doorbell cam in the early morning hours of Tuesday morning, December 30th. That's when somebody shot to death Spencer and Monique Tepe. It happened inside their own home. Their two little children, aged 4 and 1, were left to fend for themselves with their dead parents' bodies nearby. Have you learned anything new tonight about who this potential person of interest might be?
No. Unfortunately, you know, I know just as much as the next person. I was told by a reporter about 10 minutes before this got posted that it was released by the police department. And, you know, when I first saw it, yeah, I do think, you know, suspicious looking person there. It also very well could be, you know, somebody walking home drunk from a bar. But, you know, it's evidence nonetheless that hasn't been released until now. And it's good that they're kind of progressing through this.
Cazador.
And this is right between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m., which is the window they say they believe the shootings happened. Rob, do you or your family members have any idea who might have been capable of doing this? Did your family have any enemies? Did Spencer and Monique have any enemies at all that are known?
Not that I can speak on or know of. I know that they've had this massive community around him that they were just so well liked and admired by everyone. You can see in this picture that's kind of defines them. They were always smiling. They were always laughing. So it's really just unbelievable and shocking.
I just wanted to tell our audience, Rob, that we were just looking at wedding video. And as I understand it, this was video that you, as a filmmaker, shot and produced. I mean, it's beautiful. And it's just so hard to believe that we're having this conversation, seeing the stunning work that you put together for this beautiful day of theirs. I know I speak for my audience as well when I say I hope that you can get some resolution and some justice in this. And I hope we can stay in touch on this.
I think he is married to her sister. I've thought all different things. Don't take my word for it. I've been confused because Mo, actually, neat. Will you grab Mo's link for me? Mo is, she has a channel, and in my Discord today, that's for channel members and Patreon members. I mentioned this, and she said that it was mentioned somewhere that he was her brother. But I know it says brother-in-law most places, and he says her dad called me in one of the interviews. I think one that we listened to tonight. But then again, I've listened to so much. My brain is scrambled. So anyway, that's all I have for now on this. Now we kind of wait and see what happens, and we will definitely discuss any updates. Anything that comes out, I'll let you guys know. If it's not near a time that I'll be going live, I'll post a community post. He is married to the sister, correct? His interview is on STS Nation. Oh, okay. What is that? STS Nation. It's her sister's husband. He said it in an interview. Okay. Thank you. That's what I thought. But then again, it's confusing, but Mo does a great job, you guys. She really cares about not only covering cases that aren't just the mainstream cases that you see everywhere, but trying to do it in a way that's compassionate and also accurate. So I really think that you guys should check her out if you're interested. Thank you for being here, Nicole. And sorry, I kind of, anytime it's new, you don't know it as well. And I stumble a little bit all over the place, and I'm just awkward as hell anyway, as a person, which every time most people are like, you don't sound awkward or you don't sound nervous. I'm like, are you kidding me? Oh my God. But, so, and I just want to do it in a way that's accurate and compassionate as well. That's important to me. So I get all crazy. But surviving the survivor news. Thank you, me Cazador. Tandy Kane. Oh, thank you. Wait, don't go, Alex. I love the way you talk. Your voice is sweet and comforting. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, I've gotten pretty rude comments about my voice too. So he is awesome and great with facts and guests. There's a longer episode, but a 10-minute short video that they shared with just his portion. So he's going on YouTube channels. Let me just look it up before we go while we're here. Surviving the Survivor News. Is that a YouTube channel? I don't know. Oh, let's see. It looks like, I think I found it. A bigger channel. Okay, yeah. Brother-in-law of murdered Ohio dentist and wife speaks on surviving the survivor. Well, since I'm gonna let you guys go. I had already said that, and I don't want to just play their whole video. So let me link it for you guys in the chat. And if you're looking for something to listen to while you keep on drifting off to sleep, hey Punksy, here is the link. Oh, thank you. You guys are awesome. You never seem awkward. Thank you, J13. That's always so, isn't that so weird how you might just feel so anxious and awkward, and like I definitely feel that way. Like I walk away from most communication with other humans and I'm like, ugh, did I say that right? Did I do that right? Oh, why did I have to laugh like that? Or why was I silent? Or why did you smile like that the whole time? I don't know. Just I'm always questioning my interactions. And then, you know, how other people just don't see that at all. They just see what they see. You know what I mean? Very interesting. Hello, you guys at the start of your live. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you, Pointer Lover. All right, y'all. I'm gonna let you go. He was a mainstream journalist. Surviving the Survivor is because he is Jewish. He survived his mother, who survived. She's on there in a hoot. Cool. Thank you. I'll check it out. Well, I appreciate you guys. You do too, Coffee. That's funny. Yeah, I'm terrible for it. I mean, I do it in all aspects of life. But I will say one good thing about that is you do it'll keep you trying to, like, it'll keep you self-aware and keep you trying to be a better version of yourself, you know what I mean? Like even when it comes to parenting, if you're not checking yourself at the end of, maybe not every day, but you know, was I too hateful when they were doing this and acting up? Or, you know, did I spend enough time doing just this with them? Or just everything. So anyway, all right, I'm gonna let y'all go, or I'll just keep on going and talking about all kinds of shit. And where y'all going now, chat? I wonder if Bendy's live. Let me check if she's going live before we go. Just because I know she was going to cover some gypsy stuff. I just haven't seen anything posted. No. I don't know. But that video, here is the link again if you guys are interested in watching. And I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow night. But thank you again for being here and spending your evening with me. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you have a great night. Bye.